Hi there, I'm Ross Ashman. I'm here with Peter Jones of GitLab. Or PJ to his friends. PJ, thanks for taking the time. Why don't you just take a moment to introduce yourself to our wider audience?
So I think you just described me when we were having the preparation chat as the grandfather of sales in the IT industry in Australia. Thank you for not saying great-grandfather, but I have spent 35 years trying to help people with their problems, and a lot of that time has been spent selling to the financial services sector, and in the last 10, 15 years to state and federal government.
So, perfect. Yeah. And you mentioned there 30 years selling successfully, some would argue, over that period of time.
Yeah.
What do you think the key is to winning business with government in particular?
So successful is obviously relative because I'm still working at my age, so it has been good. The big thing for me is you've got to have the structural things organised to sell to government. There are certain process things that you need to follow. You need to make sure you're in panel contract. You have a vehicle by which the government client can procure your service. But the big win for me comes when you actually get to the point of building a relationship with the client where you are able to earn their trust. And that comes through basically not trying to sell anything, but trying to help them with a problem which leads to them wanting to buy. And I think if you approach your customers with that mentality, your chances of success will go very significantly. You build that trust through time of engagement and the type of engagement you have with them. So I used to track all my stats on how many meetings and appointments and whatever I'd have. And I used to know that it took me 7 appointments to make a sale. 7.2 it used to be. So that also changes your mindset. When you go to a first meeting with the customer, put away the urge to pitch them something and try and understand what their problems are. If you can do that, you're more likely to get invited back for a second meeting, and that's when the customer's actually buying from you at that point. You are doing your role as a salesperson, but the best way is focus on the customer's problem.
And as we always joke, simple but not easy. What are some of the barriers to actually doing that, building that trust, as you said?
You've kind of got to care more about the customer outcome than your own, because people pick up on that subliminally whether you mean it or not. If you are focused on, I need to make this sale because my boss is riding me or something's going on there, customers can sense that. The most important thing is making sure that you are listening to what the customer is saying and responding to help or providing clarity, because often customers come to you or engage with you when they're still confused or uncertain about what they should do about a problem, and you want to try and help them see through complexity to a simpler solution. So I think that's an important piece of it.
Yeah. And how do events like this and sort of getting out there, getting face to face, how does that sort of stuff help?
Yeah, so it's hard these days to get cut through with people. You can have whatever, if you've got double opt-in mailing lists of potential customers, you can obviously do that. You can try outbound phone calls, you can try that all you want. People are very skilled and very frequently just don't engage with you that way. So these events are great. There's an informal atmosphere. It's a professional environment for those of us that aren't dressed to attract attention on this sort of a day. Thank you again. I know you always get amusement from that. But it's about being seen at events like this and having those conversations with people. And if they want to come up to you and say, well, you're very brightly dressed, well, at least they're talking to you at that point, and you can take it from there. But these events facilitate that face-to-face initial connection.
Perfect.
Brilliantly.
And you've obviously worked with Public Sector Network across a couple of different companies now, which we appreciate.
Yeah.
Here comes the infomercial, as you joked.
Yeah, no, it's true. I'll happily say it.
Why do you keep picking to work with us?
So it's exactly that. You get the right people in the room. The events are always well organised, well run. You have interesting speakers. Sometimes you have interesting sponsors. We hope we try to be interesting and make sure it's relevant for the audience so they get something from it. But you definitely bring the right people to the place, and the events are always well run, catered, organised, etc. Great team at PSN.
Perfect.
Honestly.
Appreciate it.
No worries, mate.
Thanks, PJ.
Cheers.
Cheers.